So without any further delay, let me ask Sister Faria Arsh to sort of please, for 10 minutes, share your thoughts with us on disability areas. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor to be here. This is my first time, and it's lovely to see such a amazing group over here. I've met a few of you already, which is lovely, and we'll hopefully get to meet each other properly soon. So I'm Faria Arsh. I am the founder and CEO of Autism Foundation. My journey started when my daughter Afia, who is now 17 years old, she got diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. So I wanted to help her, and I decided to learn about autism, and I started working in special schools. But obviously, there are always so many gaps, whether that is in education sector or health sector. And when I wanted to toilet train my daughter Afia, now this is a very niche subject. Not many people even know about the fact that toilet training somebody who has autism, who has severe learning difficulties, is a very, very challenging thing, and there is no support out there. There's no support in the NHS, there's no support in the education sector, there's no support anywhere. So I kept on looking for some support who could tell me how to toilet train my daughter, who was then 8, and nobody had an answer. So I decided to put my professional experience and my personal experience together and create a method for her at home, which was alhamdulillah successful for her and the pupils that I work with. And then based on that method, I wrote this book, Toilet Training for Autistic and SEND Children and Adults. This was launched in 2023, and since then we have had hundreds of success stories around the globe. So this just shows that, you know, despite the gaps in the system, if we want to make a change, of course we can. And due to the success of the book, I then started Autism Foundation. So our main purpose is to support the community. Obviously, we don't discriminate against anybody based on religion or anything else. So we support everybody who has autism or any kind of disability. And my main aim is to support the caregivers, whether they are parents, professionals, or care workers. My main aim is to enhance the lives of the autistic people and the disabled people. But I can't work with every single autistic person, but I can work with their caregivers, and I can train them so they are able to better care and educate the autistic people and disabled people they're working with. So that's what I do. I have developed 2 trainings so far. One is directly linked to my book. So I train people on how to toilet train autistic and disabled people. And then they go and then they toilet train other people. And then I teach about autism. So autism is a very, very wide spectrum. When we talk about autism, we are looking at 3 levels here. It's loosely divided in 3 levels. And it's level 1, which is mild, level 2, which is moderate, level 3, which is severe. So my daughter falls on level 3, and she also has ADHD. So, you know, when we are looking at autism, we have to look at different, if they have any additional disabilities as well, like ADHD, severe learning difficulties, and so on. And then I create my training according to that. But autism is not isolated, because a lot of challenging behavior comes with autism because of the communication difficulties they have, because of the learning difficulties they have. So my main job is to teach people about autism, understand autism better, and then how to deal with challenging behaviors, because that's how we are going to enhance the lives of autistic people and their families as well. So it's very, very important, because I don't believe in just raising awareness. It's all amazing to come here and raise awareness, but it needs to lead to something else. It needs to lead to real life impact. Unless we're making a real life change or an impact, you know, that awareness on its own is probably not going to be as good. So my workshops and trainings is not just about awareness, it's about teaching people on how to make real life impact. And yes, I would love to work here, you know, work with you, and then we could do one of those trainings, because I think it's going to help the community. And now I'm going to come to a wider community. How can you support somebody who has autism, and how can you support their families? even if you don't come across anybody who has autism, but you may know a family member or a friend who has an autistic child. Now that child might be younger or they might be above 25 or so on. But how do we support them? That is the big question. Like, how do we support them? Do you have any ideas? Can anybody tell me what comes to your mind when you think about supporting somebody with a disability? Anybody? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
First of all, you've got to understand autism and what it is
Yes, of course.
before you can
Actually support
make a
them.
decision about supporting somebody.
Yes, yeah. But let's say you haven't come across me or anybody who can teach you about autism. What would be your first step?
Well, then, you know, you'd have to, do your training, and if it's relevant for you in terms of supporting somebody,
Yes,
then that's how you're going to learn how to support
of course,
somebody.
of course,
If
yes.
you're starting from nowhere,
Yeah,
you need a direction to go in.
absolutely, absolutely. I would say in that scenario, first thing you could do is ask the parent. Because parents are the experts. And this is the inequality that we come across as a parent. So I have been lucky enough to be a professional. I've worked in special schools for 15 years. I've got a lot of experience, but I'm a parent as well. So when I go into any meeting and I introduce myself as a parent, which I do because I see that and I take a huge pride in that, that's my primary role as a mother of an autistic child. But people don't take me seriously because they're like, oh, she's just another mum, she's just another mother, a paranoid person, and so on. But as soon as I say, oh, I'm also a professional who works with autistic people and their parents and professionals, then they start taking me seriously. But why is that? That is, again, inequality. Because when we hear something from a parent, we automatically assume that, oh, they're just a parent, what do they know? But the reality is, the parent is the expert on that disability because they are living it every single day. I'm not saying they don't make mistakes, we all do, but they are living it every single day. So as a community, if we see somebody, if we see a family, and we know that they have a child with disability, doesn't matter the age, the first thing we can do to support them is ask them, how can we help you? I recently wrote a blog on this about help. How can we help others? And often, helping somebody is an amazing thought. We all want to be in that position that we are helping somebody. It gives us a lot of joy when we help somebody. But do we actually understand how can we help others? Because often, as human beings, we want to help somebody, but we want to do it how it suits us, rather than thinking, how does it suit this person? How can we help them, which actually is helpful? So when we are looking to support somebody, especially a disabled person and their family, because I don't want to isolate the disabled person here. The disabled person relies heavily on their families. Unless we are willing to support the disabled person and the family as well, we are not doing justice. So again, we need to think, how can we help them? We need to ask the family, what kind of support do you need? And then we need to do it accordingly. We need to do it according to the support that they have asked for, not how we think or how it suits us, but how it actually helps them. So as a community, we have this responsibility that we need to educate ourselves. As you said, yes, education, awareness, that is very important. But also at the back of my mind, keep this always that if you are wanting to help or support somebody, ask the person, what can we do to help you? And then take it from there. I think I'm going to leave it there for now.
Before you go, thank you for that. Can you speak Urdu?
जी बिल्कुल.
If you can speak Urdu, can you just summarize 3 points
जी.
from your presentation for our people who can't speak English, if you don't mind, if that's...
जी जी बिल्कुल.
You have a
I will have to
sense of
think
what
again.
you
What
said.
did I talk about? It was just at the top. That's
you.
fine. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही है. तो आज का मेन टॉपिक है कि हम कम्युनिटी में एज अ कम्युनिटी हम जो भी जिसको भी डिसेबिलिटी है हम उन्हें कैसे सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं. تو اگر آپ چاہتی ہیں کہ آپ کسی کو سپورٹ کریں تو آپ سب سے پہلے ڈسیبل پرسن اور ان کے فیملی ممبر سے آپ پوچھ لیں کہ ہم آپ کو کیسے سپورٹ کر سکتے ہیں. کیونکہ کسی کو ہیلپ کرنے کا مطلب یہ نہیں ہے کہ ہم اپنے آپ کے بارے میں اچھا فیل کریں کہ دیکھو ہم انہیں ہیلپ کر رہے ہیں. ہیلپ کرنے کا مطلب یہ ہے کہ ہم انہیں ہیلپ کرتے ہیں جو ان کو سوٹ کرتا ہے, جو ہمیں نہیں سوٹ کرتا. وہ ہوتی ہے ریئل ہیلپ. تو الحمدللہ اگر ہم اس پریولیج پوزیشن میں ہے کہ ہم کسی کی ہیلپ کر سکتے ہیں تو آپ اپنے آپ کو پہلے ایجوکیٹ کریں, آپ اویئرنیس حاصل کریں ڈسیبلٹی کے بارے میں, جو اسپیسیفک ڈسیبلٹی ہے, آٹزم ہو یا جو بھی ڈسیبلٹی ہے, اور آپ وہ فیملی ممبر سے پہلے پوچھ لیں کہ آپ کو کس قسم کی ہیلپ چاہیے. اکثر لوگ اگر لوگ مجھ سے پوچھتے ہیں کہ آپ کو کس قسم کی ہیلپ چاہیے, تو ایک ٹائم تھا جب مجھے کھانا بنانے کا ٹائم نہیں تھا. آئی واز سو بزی کہ مجھے کھانا بنانے کا ٹائم نہیں تھا. تو میں نے کہا کہ دیکھو مجھے کچھ کھانا بنا کے بھیج دو, وہ بہت بڑی ہیلپ ہو جائے گی. تو آپ پوچھ لیں کہ کس قسم کی ہیلپ چاہیے, کیونکہ ہر کوئی وہ آٹسٹک بچے یا ڈسیبل بچے کی خدمت نہیں کر سکتا, کیونکہ ہمارے پاس اتنی کیپیبلٹی نہیں ہو سکتی, شاید ٹائم نہیں ہو سکتا. تو آپ جب پوچھتے ہیں کہ آپ کو کس قسم کی ہیلپ چاہیے اور وہ فلانا پرسن آپ کو بتا رہا ہے کہ مجھے یہ چاہیے, تو وہی بہت بہت بڑی بات ہے. تو آپ پلیز وزٹ مائی ویب سائٹ www.autismfoundation.co.uk, اور آپ کو کوئی بھی سوال ہے انشاءاللہ آئی ول ہیلپ یو. ٹھیک ہے.
Thank you, sister, for that. That's been fantastic, and it's a pleasure to meet you as well.